everyone. Welcome back to Talking Tongue. Middle of the month. What's happening? What's going on here?
Is everyone okay?
Joined here in isolation from the other side of the country, we have Taylor Fleming. Everyone, Taylor Fleming, hello.
Woo! It's the quarantine here to brighten your day.
Hey, listen, we got the quarantine casts coming at you in the pod cavern for the next little while. So this is Talking Tongue, the live stream show that hasn't been live streamed in a long time, but that's okay. We adapt here in the pod cavern. Exactly. That's what Talking Tongue is for. Here to deliver you. Usually we talk about, the hottest pop culture stuff and we talk about movies and stuff, but I figured this would be a good platform to just keep sending out podcasts to you people, keeping you up on the news if exactly. You don't read the internet.
This is all about entertainment, and since that has all stopped, what better time to give you more episodes?
Yeah, that's right. What better way to stay entertained than just stay in the pod cavern and listen to me and Taylor talk about nerdy shit.
That's right. And let's be real. You're all at home. You have nothing better to do. So thanks for spending time with us.
That's right. Yeah. And we're going to try to make these episodes a little bit more bite-sized too. But yeah, this is going to be interesting, Taylor, because we have a plan to kind of hopefully release Talking Tongue episodes together and just kind of, gently push them out, and they'll be shorter episodes, but we just want to keep you. Yeah, exactly. We're going to keep you guys in the know of what's happening, because sometimes you don't want to spend time on the internet. We get you. But we spend a lot of time on the internet, especially for pop culture stuff.
Too much.
So we got your back. Too much time. Too much theory crafting on what's happening in Hollywood right now.
Hey, my version of a Superman movie would be fun.
We actually did talk about that. I did not contribute to that. I did not have the creative juices for that in that moment. Okay, everyone. So like I said, the format of Talking Tongue is going to be a little bit different. We're not going to talk about 3 movies and dissect them all the time. We might like maybe give ourselves a little projects and watch something on
wait.
Netflix.
This is not
Amazon.
A show dedicated entirely to the film that is Bloodshot.
I kind of wanted to see that, to be honest.
I'm in full gray face sitting in my room right now.
I demand that whatever studio owns that movie,
I think
release
it's
it on
Sony. I think it's Sony because they're trying to do their Valiant effort. Look, we're already in the nerdy weeds. What
We're already in nerdy weeds. Okay. But we might do a thing where we start reviewing or talking about shows and movies that have already happened or are on streaming right now. But for now, let's start with a movie, because we only have one movie to really talk about.
Yeah,
and I don't want to spend too long on it because there's so much news to go through,
or
so
lack
much
thereof. News. The news is about the lack of news.
I think there's so much news happening in Hollywood right now.
That's true. None of it good, though.
None of it good. All of it bad, actually. Yeah. But because of this news, we are unable to watch any new stuff. You and I love to go to the movie theaters, and we don't get to do that. So let's start with The Invisible Man. I didn't really make any notes for this, but what did you think of this movie, Taylor?
I thought it was freaking great. So maybe just a little backstory for people why we're talking about this movie. It came out a few weeks ago, just the end of February. It's a Universal Blumhouse joint picture, but Universal is going to be releasing some movies streaming early. So The Invisible Man is coming to streaming services this weekend.
Yeah, that's
what's back in the news, baby.
I think it's for digital purchase, not streaming, right? To be, yeah, okay.
Fair enough.
Just to make that clear, yeah, because some people are assuming, like a lot of you already might know this, but yes, The Invisible Man, Emma, The Hunt, Trolls World Tour is coming early. Birds of Prey, which just came out last month, is coming early. Frozen 2 dropped on streaming early. They're talking about Rise of Skywalker hitting digital purchase early. All these things are happening very quickly. And I don't really know what's going to happen going forward. I imagine much more movies are going to follow suit.
Yeah, I mean, they'd almost have to, just to recoup some money. Some movies that aren't going to do well already, like New Mutants, drop that shit on Disney+. Come on.
Yeah, I'm not sure how New Mutants would actually do, but I assume they would do everything in their power to still get money regardless of the crisis or not. So drop it for, $20 or whatever it is, and people might buy it.
And that's how we got to The Invisible Man.
Yeah. Although, you know what? If people are dropping movies like this, I have no problem renting movies.
No, absolutely.
I'm paying to go to the
theater. This is actually a cheaper alternative.
Exactly.
2 people going out to the movies, even on Tuesday cheap night.
Exactly. But The Invisible Man, Taylor, give it to me.
Full-throated endorsement. This movie it was really good. It was inventive. I mean, The Invisible Man, we've seen that story before. Obviously, it's one of Universal's. Remember the Dark Universe? They keep
I
trying to
do
get
remember
that
the
going.
Dark Universe.
But they're old.
I keep mentioning the Dark Universe to people, and they're like, "What?"
The what? And be like,
Everyone already
haven't you
forgot
seen
about
The
it.
Mummy or Dracula Untold or The
I actually
Mummy?
did not see any of it. So
No, me either. Honestly, I have not. But yeah, so Universal has these old movie monsters. You know, Dracula, the Creature from the Black Lagoon, Frankenstein, Wolfman, Invisible Man. But this is a reinvention. They've actually so Universal's been trying to get their movie universe off the ground, trying to do a connected universe like Marvel and the MCU, but it's easier said than done. So with this one, they've actually partnered up with Blumhouse, who makes pretty solid little horror movies, generally cheaper, and they do well, like the Conjuring series or Sinister, all those things. You know, they make really cheap movies, Paranormal Activity, and then they blow up. And they've more or less done it again today. It hasn't made as much as those movies, but they've put a new spin on The Invisible Man. And Tung, what do you think the story was?
I mean, I think it made quite a bit. Like, at least from the news that I saw, I don't have any numbers because I didn't prepare for this.
Numbers are so in flux now, though, because it's like, well, it could have
Yes,
done
you're right.
better.
Well, when it did come out, it was, I think it hit higher than it expected, like it projected. So that was always good news. And luckily, it got a little bit of the cash flow money before any of this happened. So, but you're right. Now it's like, oh, movie theaters are basically shut down now. I think that's what happened, like recently.
Almost all of them.
Yeah, which is extremely sad for movies. But I mean, that's the least of everyone's problems, I guess. I thought the story was... So I'll be honest with you. I've never actually watched any Invisible Man anything before.
I haven't seen it. I've seen 2002's Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon, but that was different.
Yeah, I've always like... I don't know, maybe it's just my age, but I never really interacted with any of those like characters back in the day. Like, of course, I've seen The Mummy, and I've not Tom Cruise one, but I've also like seen variations of Frankenstein, but I've never seen a Wolf Man. I've never seen Invisible Man, that kind of stuff. And this movie, I was very surprised with, and I really enjoyed my time with it.
It's a lot better than it should have been on paper, I think.
Yeah, because it's like it seems very cheesy, you know, like it's a man who's invisible. Ooh, big deal. Like, we live in a world where like superpowers and that kind of stuff is just a thing. So the power, I don't want to spoil anything, but the ability of invisibility seems kind of like weak sauce, I guess, compared to like people with super strength and stuff like that. Not that this is a superhero movie. I'm just comparatively.
Yeah, so I think what's really smart about that, kind of the limitations with this movie, it doesn't seem that insane having an invisible person, but this movie almost kind of like The Truman Show, which we rewatched a few weeks ago. It almost seems like an extra long episode of Black Mirror. You know, a lot of things are getting compared to that nowadays. But basically, so this movie, it stars Elizabeth Moss. A lot of people know her from Handmaid's Tale. She's incredible. She gives amazing cry face. She looks like a tortured soul. But so this movie, it stars her. It's directed by Lee Winnell, who did last year's Upgrade, if anyone saw that, or maybe that's 2018's Upgrade. I think it was the best Venom movie that came out that year.
Upgrade. Who did that? Who directed that?
Lee Winnell. He did
Lee
Upgrade.
Winnell.
So he wrote Saw, the first Saw movie. He directed Upgrade, and then he directed The Invisible Man.
Okay, I've heard of the movie. I just thought someone else did.
Upgrade
the movie
is solid. It was on Crave. It might be on Netflix by now. But basically, it's a guy. He gets a microchip implanted in him, and it augments. It's almost exactly.
Why did I think that was a James Gunn movie for some reason? I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know. But yeah, Invisible Man.
Yeah. So what's cool about this movie is that the way that it unfolds, the movie starts with Elizabeth Moss escaping her abusive boyfriend. That's not a spoiler. This is all in the trailers. And then she gets word that he's killed himself, and she's finally free of him. But then she starts to be terrorized by this seemingly, you know, they kind of play with, is she crazy or is she right and nobody's listening to her? And that's where the movie's very unique for me, because it kind of deals with gaslighting and do we believe women? Because she's like, this guy is still messing with me, and everyone's like, sure he is, honey. You just go lie down. And she's like, no, for real. Like,
exactly.
So it's really cool, and I thought it was very fresh and a very interesting way to adapt it.
Yeah, and for me, the story, like, I don't want to give any spoilers because I definitely want people to watch this movie. Is I thought that like the movie, like, it starts off is exactly kind of how you would expect this movie to start off, and then it goes, and you're like, okay, this is a thing. Oh, that's kind of cool, and then giving you like building like real tension. You're like still feeling it out, but still you have a good idea of where things are going. But I felt like the movie gave enough twists and turns and kind of played with my expectations a bit in a way that I was like, oh, this movie's still going, and it's going in like a direction that I did not anticipate it to go in.
Exactly.
And
there were even some
that's what
twists
was,
that I was like, I think that might have been one twist too many, but then that twist kind of, as that goes on, you'd be like, oh no, I'm actually glad they did this now. So
yeah, exactly. So it's not like a predictable movie. I mean, there's parts that you're like, I think I know where this is going. And then you're like, oh, cool. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with this movie, and it had like enough tension to be like, ooh, this is kind of spook. I will say, like, for people who are afraid of like horror movies, quote unquote, like, I won't say it's not a horror movie. I don't think.
It's a sci-fi suspense thriller
Thriller,
horror.
yeah. There's aspects of horror for sure, of course, but it's not like I don't know.
It's not a
like a
bullshit
straight up
jump scare movie, which is great. You've said the word tension twice, and that is, you nailed it. This movie is so tense.
Yeah.
And even the first scene that I mentioned, it's her just leaving her abusive. There's no spookiness in that at all. There's no supernatural things. It's just this woman escaping from her boyfriend. But that scene is so unbelievably tense, and that's what starts the movie.
What I really love are the shots in the movie that are just like, here is just just a shot of nothing, but because it's an invisible man, you're like, is he there?
Well, exactly. The whole thing, you're on pins and needles because you'd be like, I don't know. Because that's the thing. Because he's invisible, shit just happens in this movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
and you're like, how did? Yeah, and then characters are like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then they like obviously blame Elizabeth Moss's character, which is very interesting. So she gets a lot of the
so
blowback.
It goes back to the
that.
gaslighting thing, which is great. And even the opening shot, something that I thought was great. I leaned over in the theater and whispered, like, whenever the movie starts and she's escaping, they're just on this kind of cliffside mansion with all glass windows, but as she's getting her stuff together, all that's behind her is just ocean. And I leaned over and I was just like, she's alone. Like, just the way that they shot it, like, there's nowhere to go. Like, she's just stuck. And it gives you that sense without saying or doing anything. They convey all that to you with just a shot. And it was a very well done movie.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. And yeah, definitely there was a part where I was just like, oh, fuck. I like basically said that in my mind. But I know you said Steph gave an audible gasp.
Oh, my God. The next theater overheard it, I think. It was the loudest gasp I've ever heard in a theater. And it was hilarious. But it's on streaming or, renting.
Will be
iTunes,
soon.
Google Play this weekend. And to stave off some boredom, highly recommend everybody give it a go. Yeah,
I definitely also recommend
it's also well. I guess maybe just like a trigger warning for like survivors and stuff. It is, like I said, it's a very tense movie, and going in, but it's worth it. I think there's some catharsis as well.
There's catharsis. That's the word. I don't want to spoil the movie in any way, but yes, I feel like it's worth going through. Anyways, let's move on to some news because we don't have any more movies to talk about. I got no more movies to talk about. I got some news for you, Taylor. This is old news. I'm going to just rapid fire through some of this because a lot of it is old news. But let's just say the video games' biggest video game conference in the world was canceled, E3. So that was a thing.
More like 3, am I right? Or
no 3.
E0. Fuck.
We won't have to dwell on this, but I think E3 was already going downhill, and this was just like actually a saving grace for them.
I've heard a lot of people say that since Sony's doing their own thing and Nintendo Directs, that this is kind of, people thought maybe the last year for them E3 to show themselves, and since it was canceled, they think it might be the kind of death toll. I don't know. I don't follow it that closely, but that's what I've been hearing.
Yeah, well, I feel like a lot of video game companies will do the Nintendo Sony thing of just streaming their conference. So why do you need this really expensive booth and time and money to go to this conference when
where
can just
you're
do
not
it
even the main event, right?
Exactly. So that happened. We'll see what happens to video games. But anyways, I have a couple things that I wrote down pre-quarantine. Again, some of the stuff doesn't matter, and we might have overlap with another article that I have. But the Connected movie trailer came out.
The what?
Connected. It's the movie.
Oh, is that the one that Phil Lord and Chris Miller producing?
That's right. If you watched the trailer, right?
Yeah. Well, I watched half of it and then got bored.
Ah, that's so funny because the second half is where it goes bad. I thought the first half was actually really good. Anyways, I won't spoil it. I think it's just another movie that came out, but I will say if you watch the trailer, it does this unexpected turn halfway through the trailer and you're like, what happened to this movie? You were just pitching me something else for the last minute and a half.
Is it robots?
It's robots.
Okay,
You're like, oh, I thought this movie is about like, connecting to our family and technology and how like
unplugging, basically.
Exactly. And then like all of a sudden it's like killer robots. We must save the world. And we're
and
like,
I
what?
killed him with my new iPhone 5.
It was so bizarre. I'm going to skip this. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Taika Waititi for a Netflix show. That's kind of cool.
Oh, he's doing that as a show. Interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be a Netflix show. It's I think he's doing the first 2 episodes. I'm not sure if he's show running it for sure, but yeah, I think that's a great idea. Give it to him. Why not?
Paul King, the director of Paddington 1 and 2, is doing a Willy Wonka movie as well.
Oh, weird.
So that's why I was just like, I didn't know that. Yeah,
interesting. Well, maybe it'll be like a Willy Wonka prequel movie or something.
It literally is. It's him on an adventure finding the Oompa Loompas.
God damn it.
No, I trust Paul King. I trust him.
All right. The Last of Us TV show that was announced.
Right, I heard that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this? Because I know you're if anybody listened to the ranked episode of Top 5 Zombies.
Yeah, Top 5 things featuring zombies. I love Last of Us. I think
it was the number one, just to be clear. If that didn't make sense.
I was never on board with a TV show or a movie for Last of Us if they were going to tell us. Sorry, a movie a little bit more acceptable because that's just what they do in movies, I guess. But The Last of Us TV show is literally just the video game retold in a TV show. I don't know how I feel about that because why?
Did they confirm that it's Joel and Ellie again?
Yep. I'm pretty sure they said that. And I'm like, well, the reason why I don't usually get hung up about this, about video game movies or TV shows. The thing is like the Uncharted and Last of Us video games are like movies already.
Yeah.
Like that's their thing.
Well, even the Uncharted movie with Tom Holland, they're doing like a prequel, so at least that's different.
Yeah, exactly. But this is like, if this is the exact same thing, I mean, I get it. Like some people are not going to play the video game, whatever, but it just makes the video game feel a little less special because they spent so long to make that such a cinematic experience. So anyways.
All right, let's just play a little thing with it. Who would you like to see as your Joel and Ellie? I've heard Josh Brolin, Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, I immediately pictured Hugh Jackman. And I mean, Ellie was always Ellen Page in my mind, right? So, but she's older now. But I mean, technology, they can make her look younger.
Or they could just get, I don't know, like Daphne Keane from Logan.
Oh, yeah. Something. I mean, yeah. Would she be good?
I think she could play soft. She's in that.
Oh, you know who would be good?
Engines.
What's her name? Is it Caitlin Dever?
Who?
Caitlin Dever? Is that her name?
I don't know.
She's from, I might have just butchered the entire name. She's from Booksmart.
Oh, the main girl.
Yeah. Well, the other girl. I mean, there's 2 girls. So
not Bernie, not Jonah Hill's sister.
Not exactly. Caitlin Dever. That's her name. Yeah. I think she'd be great.
Okay. Yeah. The character in the game, for those who don't know, she's literally the character model is based off of a young Ellen Page. She looks identical to Ellen Page. So that's just kind of that sweet innocence that is lost throughout the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Thomasin McKenzie, I think, would be good from Jojo Rabbit.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I like that. Castlevania Season 3 dropped on Netflix. Got really great reviews. I love the first 2 seasons. Haven't had any time to watch this season. I heard it's great.
I didn't watch Season 2, but yeah, I saw Season 3 has like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
yeah, that's crazy. 7 Stages to Achieve Eternal Bliss. That was a movie that was sent to me. I don't remember who stars in it. Oh, Taika Waititi stars in it, but he's not. It's funny that Taika's doing so much acting roles. Like he is a good actor. Like he does that funny actor. Like really well. The funny roles really well.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me.
I mean, if you remember 2011's Green Lantern, he was the best friend to Ryan Reynolds in that.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
You know the part whenever he like puts a suit on in the room and he's like, I know, right? It's Taika Waititi.
I don't remember that, but that's hilarious.
It was in the trailer, yeah.
Okay. Beauty and the Beast prequel limited series was announced that stars Gaston and LeFou.
Wait a minute. Is that with Josh Gad? Like
Josh Gad.
That Disney?
Yep.
Ugh.
And Luke Evans. But I will say, I mean, yes, I agree with you with Josh Gad. I have varying opinions of Josh Gad. I think he's a fine person in real life, but yes, his acting can be a little bit much sometimes. But I thought Luke Evans, at least in that movie, was probably the best part of that movie.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. He did a good Gaston.
I
was rooting for him. It's okay. It's okay. But he's a great Gaston. So there you go. Kids in the Hall returns to Amazon Prime. That's pretty big. I mean, for people who were into Kids in the Hall, I mean, that was like the biggest sketch TV show for a very long time. That was before my time, so I never actually got into it myself. But
yeah, I'm the same way, honestly. I mean, Canada, shout out, represent, SCTV, Kids in the Hall. We claiming them all.
Yep. Christian Bale will be the bad guy in Thor. I feel like that's old news, but hey, Thor 4, the 4. Who do you think it is?
Honestly, I'm hoping Gore the God Butcher, but probably Dario Agger, aka the Minotaur.
No, God damn it!
Minotaur that's who I think it would be. Because it's also Thor 4 is going to be starring what's her name, Jane Foster, Natalie Portman as well, and Dario Agger was a huge foil to her Jane Foster, Thor, and Jason Aaron's Thor comics run. Sorry guys, we're getting into the weeds, but since he was a big foil in that, I'm thinking maybe.
Yeah, but Gore was such a big thing for the. You're right. I hope.
But do you think Christian Bale's going to sit through prosthetics, like 3 hours of prosthetics or more a day? I don't see it.
I don't know. I think he's a much more interesting character than Dario, but whatever.
Me too. But they could just be like, "Oh, bring us that American Psycho energy for a billionaire who doesn't."
You're right. He could. They could make him good, I guess.
Who do you think?
No, I think it's one of those two for sure. I also had the same thought. Like, I want it to be Gore, the God Butcher, but we'll see.
I mean, for those of you who don't know, like, that name in of itself is so badass. You'd be like, well, I don't know who Gore is, but I think I want to see him too.
You guys should read the Jason Aaron run of Thor. Taylor was the one who got me into it, but long story short, Gore kills gods. So he's kind of a big deal.
You probably didn't get that from the name, but you have to read the book to really get it.
Yeah, exactly. Here's some sad. Oh, I don't even want to. I'll say it anyways. Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson. This is also old news, but has coronavirus. Same with Idris Elba. Fuck.
Take me, you cowards.
Yeah. I was saying to a friend of mine, I was like, what if Cats is the last thing I saw Idris Elba in? And that made me really sad. Release the butthole cut, please.
Apparently it's not real.
It's sad. Well, someone else edit Cats with the butthole cut.
Boss Logic, I'm looking at you.
Yeah. NBA season suspended. Everything's suspended. I don't know why I wrote this down. At this point, like, this is, again, like, every sport imaginable, big or small, basically is canceled.
Yeah.
I was streaming myself play Super Mario World on Facebook Gaming the other day, and Laura's dad tuned in, which he never does. And he was writing, and I was like, oh, this is interesting that, like, Laura's dad's in the stream. And he basically wrote, like, I'm reduced to watching my future son-in-law play Super Mario World because all the sports are canceled.
A true low point for all of us.
Yeah. And I'm like, all right, well, cool. And on the brighter note, the Soul trailer got announced or was released, and I think that movie looks cool.
The new Pixar one?
Yeah, the new Pixar movie. I think it looks cool. I know you saw Onward. We won't spend much time talking about it. What was your general thoughts on it? Just like
on Onward?
Yeah, on Onward.
I thought it was good. I think I said to you, parts of it were meh to me. Parts of it were excellent. The action in it is actually very well done. There's like a set piece, it's a kind of a chase scene, and it was really good. But yeah, the story itself is very cliche, kind of predictable.
Does it ever change anything for you?
Not really. I mean, it's kind of the whole first half of the movie feels like setup, where it's like, just don't touch that shotgun. We're not going to need that. ... And, it's just a lot of that stuff. But there's cool characterization, and I said to Steph after we saw it, it was Chris Pratt as Jack Black as the brother. Like he was just doing his best Jack Black impression.
I know you have flipped your opinion on Chris Pratt over the years, but
Yeah.
was it okay? Like
Oh
removed from
yeah,
that? Yeah,
he was fine, but it
Yeah.
didn't need to it didn't need to be Chris Pratt.
Right.
I
Well,
much
I
would
mean-
have enjoyed a Jack Black.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I mean Chris Pratt and Tom Holland. Of course, it is them, right? Like they're the hottest, like one of the hottest two actors on in Hollywood right now.
Yeah,
so
right. Plus they're
it makes
Disney
sense.
fans, so.
Yeah, exactly.
But Soul, something that I like about Pixar movies is I was saying when the Soul trailer came out, you can tell what kind of a movie it's going to be based on from the studio that brought you. Because whenever the Soul trailer comes out, it's from the studio that brought you Inside Out and Coco. And I'm like, okay, well, this one's going to make you cry buckets. Versus like Onward, it'd be like, from the studio who brought you Cars 2 and Ratatouille or something. And you're like, okay, I know what kind of movie this is going to be.
Yeah, I totally agree. And they had like I was trying to find it really quick, but they said this like really heartbreaking line in the Soul trailer. I can't remember what it was, but I was just like, it was like basically, I'm going to paraphrase. No, I can't paraphrase. You keep talking. I'm going to find it.
Jazz music is not good.
I got to find it.
Do it.
But yeah, what was the other movie you saw?
Oh God! The Way Back. Drunk White Coach Carter is what we've been calling it. Again, it's the Ben Affleck movie. Again, the story itself pretty basic. You know, you've seen those types of movies before where he's just basically called back. He's an alcoholic. He's called back to his old alma mater and to teach basketball for a super shitty basketball team, and he's just dealing with that plus his own alcoholism. And we've seen those types of movies before, but Affleck in the movie. He's fantastic. He's what elevates the movie above just a complete forgettable. Granted, right. I kind of forgot about it already too, but
yeah, that's fair. I heard like Affleck really, it took a lot out of him for this movie because it hits home with him.
Oh yeah, he just got out of rehab, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where he has that puffy, the drunk puffy face. He has that so well. Like what's his name? Bradley Cooper did it in A Star Is Born as well. Just that kind of puffiness where it's like, oh, I believe you're actually drunk. Wow. And he does that really well. And it's kind of hard to watch some scenes, but you can tell it was a very personal movie for him. And it works. That's kind of, that's why Robert Downey Jr. was so good as Tony Stark as well, because he himself had the battling demons past and channels that into his art. And yeah,
when you say good. That you mean Doolittle, right? His role in Doolittle.
Yes, exactly. Most people don't know, but I forget if it was 97 or 8. Robert Downey Jr. removed bagpipes from a dragon's asshole, so he really channeled that into Doolittle.
God damn it! The quote was, "Oh, it's so sad because I feel like it's too real right now. Is all this living really worth dying for?" I was like, "Oh, that's so sad," but it's also like, "Huh, what an interesting question." I think that's like, I think Tina Fey's character in the movie says that.
Tina Fey's in that movie?
Tina Fey's in it, yeah. Jamie Foxx, Tina Fey.
I didn't watch the whole thing.
It looks good. I'm telling you, it looks good.
Yeah, that line though just sounds like the line from Shawshank Redemption, where it's like, "Get busy living or get busy dying."
That's probably where they stole it from. All right, let's continue. Okay, so we'll just rapid fire this. This is all the movies and TV shows that are released at this moment of this recording. So here we go. I'm just going to rapid fire.
You're going to rapid fire every movie and show that's ever been released up to this point?
Ever released, but is delayed because of the coronavirus.
Okay, we're starting with that footage of the train coming at the screen. Okay, next.
Next. Okay, this is the movie. Obviously, the coronavirus has affected a lot of things, but the show is a lot about talking about movies and TV shows. So here are the things that are affected, or the movies that are affected by the coronavirus. Here we go. Fast and Furious 9. That was pushed back by a whole year.
A year. That's wild.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
I don't think anything could have taken our morale more than pushing back a Fast and Furious movie. Like, I don't know if we're going to get through this now, guys.
Hey, I like Fast and Furious movies, but yeah, that's a 1 year delay. That's nuts. But yeah, They're like Fast and Furious movies have always just been popcorn fun. Like turn your brain
They're
off.
so international now too. That's
Yeah.
probably why they did it. We're like, we want every market available to be able to see this movie because that's who they appeal
Exactly.
to.
No Time to Die, James Bond's latest movie, has been delayed until November 2020. I think it was one of the first movies to actually pull this trigger. Yeah,
they pushed it and they got ahead of the curve. But
yep.
yeah,
Mulan. Oh, so sad. I was supposed to see that next week. That I was really pumped for this movie.
Early reviews said it was Disney's best live action remake.
It looks so good. I like political stuff aside, I get it, but like it looks so good. It looks so different. I just wanted to see it. I love Mulan. It's very
political
sad.
Stuff.
Oh, the main actress and her.
Oh, right. Crush. She was not with. Yeah.
The people want to boycott Mulan or whatever. I'm not going to get into it right now. We've talked
those
about
people are probably already going to boycott Mulan and looking for an excuse.
Exactly. Quiet Place Part 2 got delayed. That was like one of the early ones that got delayed as well.
That would have been good. I was looking forward to that.
Me too. That would have came out of this recording today. Of this, yeah. Lovebirds. That's the Kumail movie with Issa Rae.
Oh man, Issa Rae is charming as fuck.
So that got pushed. No release date for that. New Mutants is getting. There's no release date for that. That was supposed to come out on April 3rd, but that's gone.
No. Do you know it's original when New Mutants?
Oh yes, original release way long ago.
I'm googling the exact date because this movie will not stop getting pushed back. It was originally scheduled to be released April 13th, 2018.
God damn it. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, this movie, that's what I'm saying. Just drop it online. It's had such a shitty go.
Antlers. I don't know what this is.
Oh, that looks good.
Disney's. Oh, it's a Disney movie. It's a horror movie.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It looks wicked. Very atmospheric. I think Carrie Russell's in it.
Carrie Russell? Interesting. Blue Story. I don't know what that is either, but that's getting released. I'm just reading an IGN article for those of people who are wondering, like, why is Tongue talking about this? This is literally just what I'm just going through this. Peter Rabbit 2. No, not Peter Rabbit.
How will we survive?
This is interesting though, Taylor. Actually, no, never mind. I read this wrong. It got pushed to August 7th. I thought it was supposed to come out August 7th. That would have been way more interesting.
Yeah, that would have been a big push.
But this is one that just happened today, or at least yesterday. I don't know. It's all a blur now. But Black Widow is definitely getting pushed.
Yeah.
Which is sad. I was really excited for this.
Yeah, me too.
And I remember seeing an article being like, Kevin Feige's whole like MCU timeline plan is kind of getting fucked right now, basically.
That's what I was thinking.
Because
to the point that I'm like, I could possibly see them releasing it online, some sort of paid thing, because they do have a pretty firm timeline.
Yeah, exactly. Like they've calculated everything to a T. They could never have calculated the coronavirus being part of this, right? But like
also, so Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is on hiatus right now because they're shooting, and I believe Falcon and Winter Soldier were doing reshoots, and they're on hold right now as well.
Damn.
Yeah.
Spiral, the Saw continuation / reboot starring Chris Rock and Sam Jackson, also got removed from the release calendar from Lionsgate. There is no release date yet.
Yeah, I saw the trailer. I don't know if that's the worst thing in the world.
It looks okay. I think it looked different than Saw. So I like the first two Saw movies and the rest were garbage. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm just not convinced with Chris Rock's dramatic turn.
I saw Chris Rock. I think he's trying to do that more now. Like I saw another trailer, which it's escaping me right now. Maybe he's in a TV show or something. I don't know, maybe, but it sounds like he's trying to do more dramatic stuff now. So
the Spiral it feels way more like a studio just being like, well, Jordan Peele's a funny black guy with a sketch pass who did a good horror movie. Let's see who else we can get. Hey, Chris Rock, do you want to do a Saw movie? He's like, all right. Yeah.
Hey,
that's
Chris
kind of
Rock,
how it feels.
I mean, he's done the comedy stuff forever, so why not?
We'll see. I don't think he's the next Jordan Peele.
No. Antebellum. That was with Janelle Monáe. It's a mind-bending horror thriller that was slated to open April 24th, and now it's got bumped. Okay. This is something that I didn't even know was even in production or coming out, but Minions: The Rise of Gru.
Oh, I heard about that.
I there's a big paragraph about this, but it sounds like they just temporary closing down that animation studio. So it was supposed to release in June and early July. So that's pretty huge, I would say, right? Like,
Yeah, those movies clean up.
well, not even that. It's just like that. Those are movies that are coming out in June and July. We are in March right now, and
Oh,
people are.
well, like I was just saying to you about that 6 months thing. It's like, oh, baby.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to get too real here, but I've told many people, but fuck, our even Laura and I's wedding might be affected by this, and that really sucks.
Mm-hmm. That'll be on Talking Tom episode 3.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully not. Hopefully we're like, everything's cured. I have the cure in my blood. Everyone take my blood. Trolls World Tour also got pushed.
But it's coming online.
Oh, right. You're right. We just talked about that. Push to online streaming, digital rental. And then there's a couple more things I'll just rattle off quick here. I know, Taylor, you're super disappointed by this, but the HBO Max's Friends reunion special has been postponed for at least 2 months.
What did we do?
Sorry, buddy. Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg Uncharted movie has been delayed. Whatever, man. That movie's been delayed a million times.
Yeah, I'm sure next they'll tell us that the Flash movie is delayed again.
Yeah. SNL has postponed its next 3 shows that were supposed to begin airing on March 28th. That's pretty big. I mean, SNL's been going on for a long time. They don't really do that. I mean,
yeah,
it is what it is, right?
Exactly.
It's not the end of the world.
I'm not losing sleep over that.
Exactly. I don't really watch SNL. I watch like the clips the day after, maybe. Production on the 4th season of FX's Fargo has been postponed.
Oh, that's also Chris Rock in a serious turn. Huh.
There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
The Matrix 4 also has paused production.
Cool.
The Batman has halted production for 2 weeks. Amazon's Lord of the Rings
2 weeks seems awfully ambitious, does it not?
It does, but that's kind of where everyone is at right now, you know?
Yeah.
Like everybody, like we're all like everyone put the arbitrary 2 weeks timeline. In Ontario, it's been more like 3 weeks because of Doug Ford's like, you know, thing to like close down schools during March break and stuff like. Well, that makes sense because it's March break, but like most things are not starting again till April for us, anyways.
Yeah.
The Witcher season 2 has suspended production.
Okay.
Stranger Things season 4 as well. Fantastic Beasts 3 was shut down.
Good.
On what was to have been its first day of production.
You know what? Let's just call that one a wash and stop altogether.
Yeah, not very good. Mission Impossible 7, Jurassic World Dominion, Marvel's The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, and WandaVision have been put on hold. Darn.
Geez, this thing that's interesting, I don't know how many more you have, but just,
not too many.
Do you remember a couple of years ago, it was probably 2007, when the writer's strike happened? And then there was just kind of a chunk there. There was it's not going to be immediate, but like 6 months from now or something, like there's going to be a moment when all of the shows that we're expecting to come back just aren't. Like we're not going to have, even if this whole thing passes and we're back to business as usual, we're going to have a pretty sizable black hole in the media landscape.
I agree. On the flip side, and again on the media side of this, because I don't want to downplay anything else, but with the amount of television and streaming stuff that you can watch now, that everyone's just like, you should watch this, and you're like, I don't have time.
Yeah.
Maybe people can actually watch those things now.
Oh yeah, I wrapped Netflix.
Yeah. Disney's live action Little Mermaid, Home Alone reboot, Peter Pan and Wendy. I'm just going through it really quick. Shang-Chi, Flint Strong, don't know what that is. Baz Luhrmann's Elvis biopic.
Flint, Michigan water crisis, if I had to guess.
Oh, you're probably right. Fear the Walking Dead.
Good.
Some Apple TV Plus shows.
You know what? Why don't we give the people some things that they can watch in the meantime? Why don't we start wrapping this up?
Yeah, this is at the very end of the list here. This is, I guess, larger for some people, but The Flash, Riverdale, Lucifer, Supernatural, Batwoman, Young Sheldon, a lot of the Warner Brothers shows, which are really big and popular, right? Like those ones are also halting as well.
All of those except Young Sheldon film here in Vancouver, and Vancouver just shut down. So that makes sense.
That, totally makes sense. All right, we are at the end of the show. Although before we leave, I don't have a list of recommendations, but Taylor does. Go ahead, Taylor.
Yeah, I've got some stuff just since we're all kind of cooped up at home right now. Just some stuff on some different Canadian streaming services that people can watch. I'm just going to recommend some kind of lighter fare because the world's heavy. Let's just kind of make our own places a little oasis for ourselves, as nice as it can. So on Netflix, things I would recommend, Eighth Grade, the movies Eighth Grade and Edge of 17, both coming of age stories of young women. Very well done, very well acted. Leave No Trace, which I actually just watched again last night. It is so good. It holds up so well. That's Ben Foster and Thomasin McKenzie. That was one of my picks for best movie of a ranked episode a couple years ago. And Tongue, I'm going to say this to you over and over until you do it. Paddington 1 and 2. Everybody needs to watch
Paddington.
2? Have you seen Paddington 2?
Oh, I've seen Paddington 2. I
Well,
love
watch it
Paddington
again.
2. I
Watch
love
it again.
Paddington 2.
It's
You don't have to
so
sell
good.
me on Paddington 2. I've been trying to sell Laura on Paddington 1 and 2, and she's like,
So
eh. And I'm like, what?
I would watch that guy's Willy Wonka prequel movie.
Yeah, I love Paddington. Don't get me wrong. Paddington is just pure joy.
It's so good.
And we will come up with more,
Yeah.
TV shows and movies to watch. But for now, I think what we'll do, Taylor, for next time is we'll give ourselves a movie to watch in the meantime, and then we'll come back and discuss about it. The ones that I have that I'm talking about or watching right now, I'm watching Watchmen right now, which I finally took me a while to get going, to be honest, but I am definitely in it now, even getting towards the end of the season, but I'm definitely liking what I'm seeing right now. And I've been watching The Circle with Laura, which is this reality TV show on Netflix. And she was just like, she's like, we got to have a quarantine reality TV show. I'm like, do we? There's so many TV shows out there right now. But we've been watching it, and it like the first episode, I wanted to turn it off right away because I hate reality TV. But it's finally got to me. I don't like it, but there's something about it, like all reality TV, that just pulls you in, and I hate it.
I know. I watched the first maybe like 3 or 4 of The Circle, but then I stopped. I think just the fact that they never actually meet kind of got to me, and I was like, ugh, this isn't. I was like waiting for that, but it doesn't happen. So.
Yeah, they do meet when they leave.
Oh, I know. It's like one-on-one. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, whatever. And Parks and Rec. Go watch Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec and 30 Rock are both on Amazon Prime, all the seasons. So go get some.
Go get some. Anything else, Taylor, before we wrap it up today?
No, we just finished The Outsider. Wouldn't recommend. I'm making my way through The Expanse on Amazon Prime as well.
Cool. Yeah. Well, when we are back, and I just want to say, obviously, our hearts go out to everyone who's been affected by, the coronavirus, whether that's just, some people got laid off, which is terrible. Were you laid off?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, you were.
Yeah, both of us were.
Like full on laid off. I keep forgetting. Yeah. Like a lot of people have been reaching out to me because some people are working from home. Luckily, I know a lot of people get to work from home, but people like Taylor who work in, restaurants and stuff like that, they don't have that luxury. That really sucks. So definitely, I just feel like EI is going to go nuts.
It is. The website has crashed.
Yes, that is just so awful. So hopefully we can weather this storm together. But in the meantime, we are going to try to keep pumping out Talking Tongue shows as well as Podcavern shows. So stay tuned. We're going to do a Cinema Saves the World next Saturday, March 28th, to help raise money for UNICEF Canada.
Watch Tongue's brain melt.
We're going to watch terrible movies, but we're going to raise money for a good cause. UNICEF Canada is doing a cool thing to help with the whole COVID-19, just the mess that's going on. So they're doing their best to support people, and we want to support that too. All right, Taylor, shall we?
We shall.
All right, everyone. See you next time on Talking Tongue.
Thanks
Bye.
for listening. Bye.